another video, and today I will just plot those the graph from the last tutorial that I did about the three-dimensional vector, the vector product. So we will do a little plot for that one, just to see how it look like in 3D, three-dimensional. And for that, we just open MATLAB, and then we will do it on a script in MATLAB. So we go here and just do a script, right? New script. And to clear the window in MATLAB, we do CLC, right? And then that will clear the command window. And then, so we can actually just declare some variables. I mean, you don't have to, but I like it. I guess, you know, I mean, you don't have to, but you can actually put the numbers in there in the matrices. It will do the same thing, but I will do it in this case. So we can set X equal to, the value was negative 31, right? And the Y value was equal to negative 20. And the Z value for that one, I think it was 7. And so it was a positive 7, the Z-axis, right? So then there is a couple of ways to do this. But in this case, I will do using a functionality in MATLAB. It's called the mesh grid. And what it does is creates a mesh, creates like a mesh on each plane, which kind of help us to analyze, right, the graph. But anyway, so here I will just open the bracket like this, right? And inside this bracket, I will put capital X, capital Y, capital Z, or Z, right? Now, in this case, right, so I will set mesh equal mesh, right? And it's going to be grid, mesh grid. And inside this, okay, so like this, I will put a parenthesis, right? And what it does is allow me to put the values, where do I want this grid to start or end, right? So I will say like parameters, you know. So yeah, I can put negative 2 in there. Then I put a colon and I put 0.08 or 0.8, 0.8, right? And then I put another colon and then put 2 on it, right? For the Z value on it, right? So, and then close that and put a semicolon after that. For MATLAB, it's not necessary to put a semicolon, but it is a good practice, especially when you're doing a script like this, that it will hold that until you run the program, right? So, and it's the same thing if you do it on the command line too. But I don't usually use the command line for this too much, right? So in this case, what I will do in this case is declare another variable in the bottom. And I will call that V, right? You can think that V is a vector, right? Then I'm going to specify what area do I want to look at in one of these values right here. Do I want to look from the negative 31 on the x-axis? Do I want to look for do I want to look on y-axis, right? Or do I want to look from the c-axis on the top, right? So okay, so let's do that. Let's create. Let's say, for example, that you want to see the x-axis. Why not, right? It doesn't matter. The x-axis. then you put a colon, and then you put a star like this, right? So you put a star, and then you put NEXP, and then put I'm sorry, you put parentheses. Inside those parentheses you put negative. What I will do, because I already declared this, I will put this, right? I will put this, and I don't have to put negative. See, this over here is already negative. All I got to do right here is basically say X, because it's already negative, right? And then what it does is put a dot instead of a comma, and put a little caret symbol like that, right? And then put a comma on it there. Actually, no, not in this one. So put Y dot with a little caret in there, and put a negative in this because also a negative, and then just put a Z. I guess you can put a Z or a Z, whatever, a Z negative or a positive. Doesn't really matter. All right, so in this case we can actually do that. Maybe also you can try to play with it, make it negative, make it positive, right? You're looking at an object on 3D anyway, so it doesn't matter you put positive in the x-axis or negative. You will look at 3D, but in this case it will make sense because X and Y is positive, right? So X and Y is positive, so it will make sense to do it this way. So, right, so it's saying that I guess it has to be uniformly vectors. Okay, I guess. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. What if I change this to a negative? Well, it's supposed to be a negative, right? And now, okay, nope, it has to be, well, I don't know, something that is okay. But anyway, so what you can do here is the following. So I already have this, right? Then what you can do is create a slice, right? To create a slice, you do the following, right? So you do slice, you do, X slice, right? X slice, and it has to be lowercase. Right? So X slice equal Y equal X comma Y comma Z, right? So X comma Y comma Z on those, right? So close those brackets. Right. So then we should just copy this and do it 3 times. Right, so scores he is going crazy because he's thinking like, why do I have 3 variables with the same name? That's his thinking, right? So y, and of course this is not. This is it, right? Okay, so look at what I have, right? So basically I'm replacing all the values, and I will show you what this does. But anyway, right now, what I want to do is do another slice, and now I don't want to do anything else, just create like a function out of it. I don't want to make it an equal sign, and it tell me what to do here. So here it tell me that x comma y, right, and comma z, comma z, right? Then I'm going to say the vector, right? And I'm going to just copy this. Copy this, put it over there. Put it over there. Oops. And then put another one here. Right now, close the parenthesis, right? And then change the value. I'm sorry, change the name of these variables, because this is y and this is z, right? Then we create what is called x labels, right? And we copy it, and then we do that, and again, just something like this, and inside here, right, we put x, right? And what I will do is again copy this and make it 3 times. Actually, two more times, right? We change this to y. We change this to z. And of course, we change this to y. And we change that to z, right? So, and then end every single thing of this with a semicolon. Semicolon. And then end this with a semicolon, right? Now let's plot this, and I will show you that it's not the best way to do it, because this is going to display stuff all over the place, because it's going to look all over the place. Why? Because all the values are here in all the slices, right? So let's plot this and name it product vect. As you can see, created a plot, and that's a 3-dimensional, but I got a bunch of different things here, the different windows, right? And the question is why? See how many windows I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why? Because it's creating for each. It's creating like a window to look, to say, okay, I'm looking this on this direction. I am looking at this on that direction. I am looking at this in this direction. So I got how many variables I got all together? So I have 3 variables, right? In times 3 times 3, so it's going to be 9 windows that I'm looking at this. Like read that I'm looking at these directions, all the directions, right? In all the directions. So it doesn't really help. What we can do here, the following. So what I can do is Just keep one. In this case, I am looking at this, right? I am looking at this, and then just keep one of it. One of it, right? In this case, right? I am looking at this direction, so let's keep the x-axis for now. And let's make it the other one 0. Actually, make it make that 0. Actually, no, let's do it this way. Which is the same thing, right? But, right, so just replace this by 0. Let's display this as it is right now, right? And then, in this case, replace x by 0 and keep y, right? In this case, because I wanted to display the negative 20, and then make that 0. And then over here, remember, this is what? This is 0. And this is also a 0. Why? Because I need to display this 7, right? So now, what about over here? So I want to display this. I want to display x, so I need this and this 0. Okay? So I just display whatever I need to do. See this diagonally here? I need to display those numbers, right? So x, y, and z. That's the only numbers that I care about, right? So you can see right here, it's a little plot, right? Okay, so this is actually, let me just fix this because it seems like it's adding the 0 still. So let me just change this. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so this let's just make it, you know what? To make it easy, because it is recognizing the 0 is still a value, but technically it's not. So over here, what I can do is actually simply replace this by 0, but again, then it will not show up here. See that? So let me just cancel this. Okay. Let me just undo something. Did I put? Yeah, so just like that for now. Make it easy. Right. So let's make this negative 31. Right, let's make that 0, and let's make that 0. Right, let's make this negative 20. 0 and 0. Let's make that negative. I should have said. Right? So now we have all the values, right? So you can see as you can see, okay, so this is the XY plane. This is the XY plane right here. So XY is sitting right here in this plane, right? So this is the X, this is the Y, this is the C up, right? Now, let me just verify something real quick. So this is all right. So okay, so 0.8. Yeah, so all right, now it's just showing, as you can see right here. Why? It is showing X and the Y, but it's not showing the cutoff, right? So, which means that this is a mirror image of this has to be down here. Okay, so as you can see that it is necessary to have those, right? So but you can see right here that if I turn this, see how neat this look like. So again, this is the XY plane that's sit over here. Now, if I wanted to see how does it look like, right? Because I'm looking at the x-axis, so I can actually see this, right? This, like I am looking at something right in front of me, right? But if I want to change that, let's say, for example, I want to change that. Let's say, for example, instead of looking at that side, I want to look at the Z. Oops. Okay, X. Okay, let me just write something before that, right? So let's do negative 20 in this side, and this let's do 7. Okay. Okay, so look, if you look at over here, as you can see, I want to just show you something real quick. So this is the X, Y, this is the X, this is the X axis, this is the Y axis, all right? So you got the X, the Y, and the Z going up. You can see that, right? Now, if I were to turn this, look at this. It looks like I'm looking at the building from the top to the bottom, almost from the top to the bottom. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Right? So I am looking down on the Z-axis, right? Now, isn't that beautiful? It looked like, look at that. So now I am looking from the X-axis, right, towards the Y-axis, right? So I'm looking at this. Now, let me just change something here, right? Now let's say that I want to see it from the Z-axis instead of the Y-axis, right? So let me just change that to the Z. Oops, Z, right? Then let me just change that into the Z slide. Let me just do that. Regular 31 and then negative 20 and then a 7, and then let me make it sure that I have 0 here and a 0 here. See how that look like, right? Okay. So now I'm looking totally something different, isn't it? Look at that. Now I'm looking just down. I'm looking down on the on the C plane. And what I'm looking at? I am looking at this is the Y-axis and this is the X-axis. So I am sitting up here, right? I am sitting right here. If I turn this thing around, I don't have to do a lot. I mean, to kind of identify that this is the C axis right there. Look. See? I am looking just on top of the building down on the Y-axis, X and Y-axis, right? So there, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Right? So this is a very helpful tool of MATLAB, right? So, and then the same thing you can play with the Y-axis, right? You can actually make this 0. You can actually make this 0, and you can actually make this negative 20, no, negative 31, and you can actually make this 7, and in this case you will not see a lot of big difference. You will see a little bit different, because I am looking at this direction, right? But now you see the Z-axis going up, right? So now this is the Y, and this is the Z-axis, right? So I'm looking at from the Y-axis going that direction, right? So look at that, right? So you can actually see. Now, let me just change it. Let me just show you something little quick. Actually, I don't know why that. I mean, that's not gonna make any difference. No, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, but so what I can do here is the following. So I can just replace whatever I have in there, 20, and then 7. But remember, hold on. Let's see. Let me just put 0 in there. And let's change that to a Y. And see. It doesn't make any big difference. It doesn't make a lot. No. So this is the XY plane. So I'm looking, right? I'm looking from the Y direction, and this is the X, this is the Y, this is the X, and this is the Z, right? So you can actually see that right now. So that's pretty neat, isn't it? So in this case, let's see. Why do I have this? I don't know. But this should be 0 and this should be 7. Let me see. Okay, so right? So as you can see that this is a y-axis, this is the x-axis, and this is the z-axis, right? So yeah, this look very similar to the x-axis, right? Now, let me just do -20, oops, and 7. And just do that 0, put 0 here, and put, okay. So now, let me change this to Y. I'm sorry, X. Right? So now let's plot this again. Let me just show you one more thing in here. Okay, so as you can see, so this has a little thing right here for inserting or whatever. You can insert an ellipse, you can do line. And let me just draw a line from here to there. And then let me draw another line from that point, from this point to that point. Right? And let me do another line from this point to that point. And let me do another line from so let's do undo, right? Then insert again, and now obviously you can see right here that this is the z-axis going up, right? So, but this is the xy plane. See, this is the x, this is the y, and the z is going up here. So obviously This is the Z going up. And start from 0. Start from this. And goes up 7 units. Look at that. And that's how, look at that. Now I have this, right? I have the Z-axis. I have the Y-axis. I got the X-axis. And if I wanted just to turn this around, see that? See that now? Why? Because the lines stays in place. What I am moving the box around. See that? But the lines stays in place. So look at that. Let's see. And then I can do undo, rotate. Here you go. Okay. So that's how you do a three-dimensional 3-vector in MATLAB. I'm sorry, a 3-dimensional vector in MATLAB. Isn't that awesome? Right. Thank you for watching, guys. And remember, over here, we learn something every day because Jesus is good. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.